Okay, so my recording got stopped because I was out of space, so I need to do this over again. What I was saying is that there is a list of video games that I want to talk about in this video, and I will also request something that I've never requested before on this channel or anywhere. And that is, if you want to support me or enjoy my content or want to help shape the content, then please consider subscribing. It feels very weird to say that because I'm not used to asking people to do that. But yeah, I wish that people would subscribe because it's really important for me, and it's a part of kind of building my own future, because I will never have a conventional job, and I don't see myself becoming a YouTuber, but I don't really know what my path forward is, but having a community is important for me, even though I'm very weird. I'm a strange person. Anyways, so okay, wait, first, good, it's still recording. So I'm going to play Getting Over It while this is going on. Yeah, but anyways, oh shit, I'm so paranoid. Is it stop? Has it stopped? No? Okay, good. I'm so paranoid. Please do not stop recording. Okay, now I can check it regularly. So I made some time ago. Oh wait! I was going to say something else before I started, and that is that I will not be playing League of Legends while talking this time, because my my League of Legends account got suspended. not permanently, luckily, but for it got suspended for like I don't know how many days. Oh, 13 days. So around 2 weeks. And I thought it was because someone like thoroughly reported me, like said, oh, look at this specific case, and got a human to assess it and say, oh, this guy can't play our game, he needs the punishment. Because I was like, there was a Tristana, enemy Tristana, and she kept writing question mark when I died, and I just started making fun of her by saying, or not making fun of her even, I was just saying stupid your mom jokes. I was just saying your mom, and just randomly, because I know that really annoys people. Like I didn't even say anything personal to him, I just said your mom. And then I said some other things where I said like your mom is with me or whatever, and he lied and said that he doesn't have a mom, which, like, I know that some people's mothers have died, but that's very, very unlikely in League of Legends. People are just manipulative, and he said, oh, that's very shitty of you to say that, like, after he had said many other things, and like he didn't act in a very truthful way. So I said, like, continue to make those jokes, but I never said anything mean about his mom. Just stupid jokes. And he like said how bad I was at the game and made fun of me and tried to kind of harass me. Sorry, that was a tick, like when I make a noise related to OCD. But anyways, so sorry. So I thought it was related to that, but apparently I like typed because I thought it was unfair. He did worse things than me, and what I did wasn't bad enough to where I should be suspended. And then I submitted like a request to have it removed or something. I like asked for help at the right website, and then there was a Blitzcrank bot, so an AI, which seemed to be very advanced because it understood that it was related to my ban, and I would assume Riot Games has an advanced AI. So that was cool, and he said that, but the strange thing is that he said that I have been reported 11 times for intentionally feeding the last 20 games, which is not that bad honestly, because one game where many people just bandwagon against me, like say, oh, we need to report this guy, and it seemed like I was intentionally feeding, then maybe that's because the enemy can report me as well, so that's potentially like 3 or 4 reports right there. And I often get in, like, many people often get angry at me because I reply to them. I don't let them just trash talk me without having fun with it. So I'm surprised it wasn't even higher. But yeah, like it was, I never intentionally feed. I honestly don't, because I don't never even rage quit the game, because I absolutely hate when people do that to me. So I have never ever in my entire life rage quit a single game of League of Legends, even though I played it for like 4,000 hours. I think maybe once, like 3 years ago, when my internet was super bad because I couldn't do anything either way. So maybe in total, like absolute total, no matter the reason, it's been like 7 times. And those weren't rage quits though. Many times it was bug splat or internet problems that suddenly occurred. I can't keep track of everything. Maybe more than that, but those things get resolved after a while, and sometimes the server crashed. So, but yeah, so I never intentionally feed. I just have a very aggressive playstyle, which makes it seem like I'm intentionally feeding it, or I mean, like when it's a one-sided game, I keep dying, and people might just use that as an excuse to, like, they falsely claim, and they know that they falsely claim that I intentionally feed. So yeah, that was apparently the thing that got me suspended, and that was I requested an actual human to review it, and I gave this explanation to them just very shortly, like, because there was very little space to write it in, or it seemed like it was supposed to be a very short message. Didn't feel natural to just write a long message there. So I hope they get back to me and that I get my suspension removed. Yeah, anyways, let's get into it. I'm sorry for wasting your time with this. I was just a bit frustrated about that. I don't want my account suspended. It doesn't really matter that much, because it doesn't matter that much. It's just I don't want my account suspended. I want to be able to play. Anyway, so this list is about wait, I've spent 8 minutes already. Sorry. Oh my god. You're supposed to listen to this in the background. Okay, so my list is, maybe I should include it in the description of the video. Okay, so look in the description and you can see the list there. So I can have a black screen throughout the entire video, and low resolution to save both space and your battery. Whoa, I just played Getting Over It and I got 6 minutes and 15 seconds. That's very good, actually. I'm impressed. Wow. I wasn't even paying attention. Anyways, so what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so the list. Okay, so the first game on the list, or this list, is about ethical video games to support. So one important thing, because I have so little power in this world, just like most other humans, that but I still want to try to contribute and help the world, because I believe my ideas are way above. I believe my vision and my potential to improve the world is way, or my personal ambition and willingness to improve the world is way above the average person, because I'm both intelligent and I am kind of altruistic, because I philosophically realized that is the logical kind of position to have, because if everyone else has a better life, you have better life, and it's also because I'm an emotional person. I am emotional person, and I of course care about other people. Everyone cares about other people, but I really care about people and animals, and I love taking care of this just sounds weird. I want people to be happy, basically, and I want people to have a good life. So, but anyway, so when we have so little power, I try to find ways, creative ways actually, where I can support, and if encouraging people to choose choose more ethical video game options, not options, but like choose more ethical video games, then that is a step in the right direction. And that is one way that can, because people never talk about this. They don't talk about ethical video games to support. They might talk about how a particular video game studio is bad or good, but there are no real lists like this. So it can have like a snowball effect. When some people are aware of this, other people might consider this standard, this kind of way of viewing this, of thinking about how ethical something is, not how good it is. Both, of course, both have ethical and good, but because this is also supposed to be a list of video games that you can enjoy. But yeah, so this is like something with a lot of potential. So this is very interesting, and I want to talk about it. So yeah, this list is about ethical video games that are also constantly being developed. So there are video games that I've played that are from ethical companies and produced in a very ethical Oh shit, I just fell. No, I fell over the car. Back to the beginning. Okay, let's restart. But yeah, so there are games that are more that are ethical, that produce ethically, that are a finished release, that are not constantly being developed, like I assume The Witcher 3 and now Cyberpunk, though I'm not quite sure after Cyberpunk's release, because I have heard some things about the developers being pressured quite a lot, in an inhumane manner. But yeah, so but yeah, so there are games that are not included on this list just because they are not constantly being developed or have been developed for a long time. That is not the case. That they have not been developed for a long time continually after their release. Oh shit! I just remembered a game I should put on this list, even though that's finished development. I don't know. But yeah, so let's gets let into the list, and no, let's get into the list. So the first game is I'm always so like nervous about explaining things because I want my explanations to be perfect. It's stupid. Anyways, so the first game on my list is Dead Cells. Dead Cells is an incredibly good game. It's probably the best roguelite hack and slash like 2D game ever made, probably. It's completely like, it's so well made and it's so good. And the thing with continually developed games is that usually their developers are passionate about it, not when it comes to like games as a service with loads of microtransactions, but when you purchase a product and you get so much with it, that's an indication of passionate developers. So yeah, Dead Cells is a very good example, and it's consistently being developed. It's been developed, but been developed for many years now, and it still is. They're still releasing expansions. I don't know if they have slowed down yet, but it's yeah, it's a very, very good game, and you should really consider trying it if you like that type of game. So okay, so the next game on the list is BeamNG Drive. which is the car game with the realistic physics. And the reason why I included this here is because... Okay, that was an alarm reminding me to do, among other things, this. So now I'm currently doing something that alarm was supposed to remind me of. But anyways, so yeah, BeamNG Drive. So in this list I also considered the value of the games in terms of just what they mean for the genre, as in like their existence, what that just does for the genre and for this type of, just what value they can provide in the more like all-inclusive about a specific topic, just how much utility you can get from it. So in the case of BeamNG Drive, in the case of Dead Cells, it's a game you could play for a long time in that genre, and it's just really good. It's perfect, but it isn't exactly useful in real life. That's what I was trying to say earlier about I've considered how useful these things are when it comes to other things as well, and learning things. So this is where BeamNG Drive comes in. Oh, I should give the score. I have scores here of the different games, and I should give a score for Dead Cells. It got a 10 out of 10. And I'm very strict on my scores. When something gets 10 out of 10, it's a masterpiece. But yeah, so the next game is BeamNG Drive, and that game can teach you how to drive. I learned how to handle slippery surfaces and spinning in that game. So it actually made me a better driver, and it's an incredibly it's constantly being developed, and it's just a very good game. It's if you ever want a simulation game, car simulation game, that's the game to go for. It's so realistic that you could actually use it to demonstrate real life progression and real life behavior of cars, both in terms of destruction and in terms of the physics behind it. So very impressive game, very good foundation for people to simulate things, and it could be used in schools and in car design schools and other types of schools as like an approachable thing that there is obviously not as advanced as they would need in some cases, but it's a very good like a foundation upon which everyone can kind of easily get into and understand. It's intuitive, it's fun, and it's also has very high quality simulations. So it could provide it could be used in schools and in other situations, just for testing concepts or just testing a theory or whatever. So yeah, wait, Getting Over It has motion blur. I didn't actually think about it. Like, everything has motion blur, not just the guy, but the environment as well when you move it, which looks really weird actually, but that's why it looks so smooth in general. But yeah, so BeamNG Drive, very good game, very high quality, more of a simulation game, and provide loads of real life usefulness. Very good game. Very good that it exists. It's very good that it exists. And it gets 7 out of 10. So I'm very strict on the ratings. I think that one should have gotten an 8 out of 10. I don't know what I was thinking there. I think it got 7 because as a video game itself, it doesn't really provide that much in terms of like conventional progress and tasks. And also it isn't that ambitious, and it could have more career and story and just more customization, more easily accessible, different things, but I think that was quite a harsh score. Anyways, so the next game is Universe Sandbox 2, and this game actually got a 6 out of 10. And don't think that is like, I'm very strict on these standards. And if if I were to rate like games like Call of Duty, they would straight out get a 2 or 3 out of 10, or maybe even a 1, because of how extremely greedy they are and very unethical. So I'm kind of assessing those things as well, but if we're assessing quality in itself, yeah, they would probably get like a 3 or a 4, because they are underdeveloped. They are not very ambitious at all. It's the same thing year in and year out. So very, very strict, even though Call of Duty is very good, well designed, and entertaining and good game in that sense. So yeah. So Universe Sandbox, it got a 6 out of 10, and it's very good for understanding space and visualizing these things. It's just a very good. Many of the things I said about BeamNG, about it being potentially being used in schools, in educational videos, in whatever. Basically, the same thing I said about BeamNG applies here as well, except this one is about space, while BeamNG is about cars. So very similar, very good game. I haven't played it personally, but yeah, I know about it, and I've seen some videos on it on YouTube. It's funny, but I don't know why I gave it a 6 out of 10. It's just because the standard is so high. Anyways, so that one, very good game. The next one is Totally Accurate Battle Simulator. It's a game not necessarily very realistic. It probably has one of the better like fighting mechanics out there in terms of just consistency, because everything is so physically based. So it's a very unique game in that sense, but it isn't very realistic. But yeah, it's an entertaining game, and they've developed it for a long time, and I think it deserves a place on the list with a 6 out of 10. So the next game is Dota, and that one gets an 8 out of 10, because Dota 2, the original Dota, I haven't played it, but that one, I don't know what to say about it. It's very good. I'm impressed about the person who made its ability to, like, he deserves a lot of credit, the person who developed the original Dota. Anyways. Sorry. So Dota 2, it's high quality, very, very high quality, constantly being developed by Valve, which is a very good company. I can't really, other than how much they take from indie developers, I don't really see any issues with them. They have a very good work philosophy. If you see the documentary from Half-Life Alyx, they may take risks like Half-Life Alyx, and they make very, very good revolutionary games for their time. So Valve is very good, Dota is very good within its genre. I don't like it personally, but that doesn't matter. I played League of Legends so long that it feels weird to play Dota 2, but I think I played it for like 14 hours or something, or more than that, maybe even 40 actually. I did try it quite a while, a while back, and still recording good. Okay, so the next game on our list is SCP Unity. SCP is fantastic. It's very strict though. It's very difficult to get your things approved. I wish I had the confidence to write something and try to submit it, but first of all, they wouldn't accept it probably. Well, basically that's the reason. It's a lot of work, and they wouldn't accept it because the standard is so high. So I don't like that. Like, I wish it was a bit more welcoming, though I don't really know what I'm talking about here, so yeah. Anyways, SCP Unity. It's a good recreation of the original one. It's just so lackluster currently. Recently it's been getting some very big updates, and it's made a lot of progression. But it was it was very bare bones for a while. But yeah, it's a good, faithful, ambitious recreation of the original. They plan on having modding support, and strongly supporting that, and building a foundation for people to develop on. So just very good game. You can support them on Patreon. It's free. Supporting them on Patreon is not free, but the game itself is free. So yeah, you should absolutely support it. The reason why I gave it a 5 out of 10 is because it's very underdeveloped currently. But it's a very solid foundation. I probably should give it a 4 out of 10 or 3 when it comes to content itself, because of how extremely strict this standard is. But anyways, I felt like I should give it a 5 out of 10. Which is very good. If you make it on this list and you get a 1 out of 10 or a 2 out of 10, just know that you have created something absolutely incredible that very few other people on this planet, a very small percentage, could ever dream of making. Because video game development is really hard. So it's not a shot at the developers. It's more just a very strict standard. Anyways, I need to stop talking about the standard. Okay, let's look at the next one. SCP Secret Laboratory. It gets a 6 out of 10. That's a very interesting game. I like it. It's a perfect concept, but they are slow at developing it. Very slow. So I wish it was more alive and more actively being developed, better communication, and more easily, like it was easier to get in contact with them. I felt like the Discord server wasn't that welcoming. I think actually they had like some place you could place jobs and different things, like job offers or ask to be employed, like employed different places. And I submitted something, and they were kind of like, they said that it needed to be different, which was okay, but they weren't that nice. They were a little like condescending and douchebag looking about the way they handled it. So I didn't get that good of an impression of the like the sustainable community or sustained community. Though the game community itself within the game is fun, but maybe not as good either. But they're very silly and very funny. Ooh, okay. I got up in the game. Getting over it. Anyways, so yes, SCP Secret Laboratory is similar to SCP Unity. Like the concept, I love the SCP universe, and I really hope it continues to be developed. And all of these are ethical because these are passion projects. Both of these games, they are passion projects. Okay, so the next one is interesting. The next one is House Party. It gets a 6 out of 10. Basically, the reason why it's on here is because if you want a pornographic game, that's the game to get. It's like it's kind of realistic. It's not like it's not unrealistically over sexualized. Of course the people there are over sexualized, but not like other more toxic games like anime games. Many of them, at least. There are anime games that handle these topics in a better way. But yeah, so it's it has different the people there has different personalities. There is a lot of things you can do and just joke around, and it has a lot of dialogue, and it has a lot of just options, and it is continually being developed. And out of all of the pornographic games you could choose to download, I think this one would be probably the most ethical one to support and to download, because it seems like the people making it, like, it's a fun project for them. It's not manipulative in any way. So yeah, that's it's a weird game, but yeah, if you're going to get a game like that, you should get that one. Unless you find another one, but I know that this one seems very good to support. A good attempt at making this kind of game, and they are needed, of course. Every type of game is needed. There will always be people who want a certain type of game, and that this game provides that genre in a very good way. Sorry. So the next one is Teardown, and it gets, despite being very, very early now, it gets a 8 out of 10. It's not very, very early, but it is very early. It gets a 8 out of 10. A very strong foundation, incredibly impressive. I'm shocked at how good of a foundation it is. It's a very impressive game. And it will be continued to be supported, and they will have a lot of mod support, which is always very good, very ethical. So yeah, very good, and just a very solid game, very solid foundation. So yeah, an 8 out of 10. No, where did I go? Okay, good. Wait, SCP Secret Laboratory gets the same as Universe Sandbox? No, these need to be changed a little bit. I think BeamNG should go to an 8 out of 10, while Universe Sandbox should go to a 7 or 8 out of 10. Anyways, sorry. I'm distracted, come on! Oh, I fell. Goddamn. If you're wondering, if you didn't pay attention earlier, I'm playing Getting Over It while I'm talking, so that's why I'm making weird comments out of nowhere. Okay, so the next one, it gets a 6 out of 10 because this one is kind of controversial on my list. Why am I saying controversial as if many people have seen it and have opinions about it? I mean, like, you know what I mean. I don't need to explain it any further. It's controversial for me to include it on the list in my own mind. Like, it has some controversies to it. It has some negatives to it, and some things that are very sketchy and very concerning. So yeah, it's Beat Saber. It gets a 6 out of 10 because of these issues, but it would probably get a 9 or a 10 out of 10 if those issues weren't there. So it's a very very good VR game. Of course, everyone knows about it. It's a great concept and very well executed. Within that category, I think it's pretty much dominant. But I can't give it a higher score because they kind of squashed the modding community, and there was some legal trouble, but I know that they kind of exploited the opportunity, or that they have mismanaged some things. In addition, the music packs cost a ton of money, and they can ask people who are just fans of the game or who are willing to make music, but they are choosing like popular albums, like albums from Imagine Dragons, or maybe that's the album's name, I don't know. But yeah, no, that's an artist group, Imagine Dragons. So they take from them, they take from like Monster Cat, they take from, by the license of course, they're not stealing, but also from like popular, like BTS, K-pop. So it's like just the popular stuff, which is disappointing, and it's vastly overpriced. I don't know if it's that overpriced, but it definitely is vastly overpriced. It costs like 150 for one album. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy for an early access game. basically early access. I don't think it's early access anymore, but it was like was unpopular or less popular than now, and it's still not very popular platform. And I remember these prices from like two years ago or something. So yeah, obnoxious prices, and they keep putting out new albums instead of keep putting out tracks for new keep putting out new tracks for different albums, and making different album packs instead of developing the game itself, which is disappointing. They are very greedy. It seems like huge greed have overtaken Beat Saber, which is sad. They should absolutely support the modding community, and they should absolutely focus on getting the bonus maps cheaper, and continuing to develop the game and allowing for a more ambitious future. Anyways, that was Beat Saber. And it got a 6 out of 10. The next one is Terraria, which obviously gets a 10 out of 10. Incredible game. It's the game to get if you're looking for a sandbox 2D like builder survival game. Very high quality and continually developed. I haven't played it actually. I have played it a little bit, but not much at all. But I know enough about it to say it definitely gets a 10 out of 10. So the next one is actually its brother, Minecraft, and it gets a 10 out of 10, but I think it should get a 9 out of 10. Oh, by the way, with Terraria, I think it's an ethical development. As I said, most of these games, most of the continually developed games are ethically developed. And Terraria don't focus on expansions or like paid expansions. It's just a very good game, and they keep providing content. Okay, and we've kind of moved away from the simulation genre, like with BeamNG and Universe Sandbox. I talked about tabs in terms of realistic simulations, but also I could talk about Teardown, well, in realistic simulations, but it doesn't really fall within that category. But House Party, I would kind of consider that a simulation game, but it's not that realistic. Holy what the? I thought I was slow, and I got a 5 minutes and 25 seconds. Wow, that's very good time in getting over it. Anyways, Minecraft, 9 out of 10, even though it says 10 out of 10 here. I changed it now in my head. And I will change it before I release the video. Release this video. Minecraft gets a 9 out of 10 because they are concerned about stupid censorship, like with what animals they include, and they're dishonest about it as well, I think. And they provide content way too slowly, and they try to absolutely crush and demolish the modding community currently. You know what? I might even reduce it down to 8 out of 10. They are doing some horrible stuff right now. They are doing very bad stuff right now with wait, should I include timestamps? Yeah, I should actually. Timestamps. They're doing some really bad stuff with only giving ray tracing to the Bedrock version, which is written in a more optimized language, coding language, which is so cool. I want that. It's basically Optifine but better, and they will only give the ray tracing to the Bedrock edition, and also the Bedrock edition has like paid skins, like paid texture packs, I mean, and skins, I think. And there is much less support for the modding community there. So they are doing some very greedy corporate stuff right now, which is sad because it's a very, very good game. The game itself obviously gets a 10 out of 10. So yeah. I think I should include timestamps, but that's a lot of work. And I guess people could just watch the 40-minute video because I provide a lot of context during it. And they can just listen to it in the background. It's not that big of a deal. Especially now during the pandemic, because, you know, people have a lot of free time on their hand. And about the pandemic, I feel very bad for people who struggle financially. I know that in America, with the absolutely 100% incompetent, corrupt, stupid, idiotic, horrible government, they are really struggling, as they are printing out tons of money for corporations and giving nothing for the and playing stupid political games with people's lives and giving nothing to normal people. I'm sorry, I get heated about this because, as I said earlier, I care about people. And America is very, very good at ticking me off because they, like America as a collective, in terms of like the way it acts, is very, very anti-life and anti-human. But the people in America have good heart. I think many of them. They are strong people. Kinda, I think. I don't know. I think. And because of the progressive movements, and people are fighters there, generally speaking. Anyways, wait. I'm thinking now. Wait. Nah, never mind. Nothing. Sorry. For overthinking. But yeah, fighters. And I hate the American government because of what it does to its people. And other people of other countries. So yeah, I feel bad for you, and also the rest of the world, though you have been hit less severely because you actually have functioning governments. Even third world countries have more functioning governments in some regards than than America. No, I fell. I'm just going to beat the game, and then that's the end of the video. So I wonder who are watching these videos, because I know in the future they will get more views, but I don't know how many people who will make it to this point in the video. Oh, and yeah, I always, if anyone comments, I always, at least currently, always respond to comments. I'm very, very aggressive. That sounds bad. I'm very, what should I say? Very eager to reply. And despite what you might see me saying in other comment section, I'm a very kind and good-hearted person. I don't want to insult anyone. I don't want to cause anyone any harm. I basically just want a better world. And this is kind of my contribution. Also my way to try to find some direction to go in terms of self-sustaining, being self-sustained, in terms of earning money and having a living. But I will not have ads on my videos, because oh my god, that's so infuriating. First of all, YouTube just demonetized people left and right for no reason. And also it gives people a bigger kind of more to work with in terms of copyright striking and other abuse of different systems, because then it's monetized. And also you earn so little money from it, and it's so annoying for people who watch the videos, because ads are absolutely awful, and YouTube is so scummy in the way it does the ads, because it has a large amount of ads, but that's just one of the things it does that is scummy. It has a very large amount of ads, and they they also have some ads that are way too long, which is like you might be listening to YouTube in the background, and now you gotta walk over there and or lean over there and skip the ad, and consistently just micromanaging and skipping the ads. It can be very exhausting, especially if you just feel lazy and you don't want to get up. It can be infuriating to have the stupid ads play all the time. And YouTube is just a bad company. It's an unethical company. It's a symbolism of American greed. Yeah, I don't understand why there are no alternative to Google, to YouTube, I mean. Come on! Okay, never mind. I will stop playing this game now. Goodbye! I'm crazy. Crazy. Okay, stop.